Okay, welcome to our channel. So this will be the first practical Perl course. So today we are going to talk about how to merge genomic regions using Perl. Okay. So let's imagine we have this is just an example. So let's imagine we have thousands of regions like this. For example, chromosome 1 100 to 200, chromosome 1 150 to 250, and we want to merge those overlapping regions. So for example, for these three regions, at the end we want to get a region chromosome 1 and 100 to 300, and and for this region, these two regions will be merged at chromosome 1 500 650. Okay. And for those that don't have any regions overlap with them, it will be just printed as it is. Okay. So how do we accomplish this task using Perl? So let's do it. So let's say we name this script name as the DMR script. DMR merge here. Okay, and then let's say we first write the shebang line. So first, of course, we need to read that file. So let's say we need to have an input file DMR and output file and equals argv. This will read the argument, the command line arguments. Okay, and now let's read DMR. Okay, so let's first think of the pseudocode. So how we can accomplish this task. So imagine we read the first line, and then we need to go to the next line to say, okay, whether the next line is overlap with this line. If it's not overlap with this line, we need to, okay, let's say, so first we read the line, and then go to the next line, right? And then when we go to the next line, check overlap. If overlap, what do we do? If overlap, we just merge two lines, merge these two regions, and then we need to go to the next line, right? Okay, so if not overlap, we will just do what? We will just print whatever we have now. Print whatever we have now, and then start from a new line, and then start from a new line, right? Okay, so things will be a little bit more complicated than what we see here, but we will work out this as we go further. Okay, so let's first achieve the goal we already wrote here. So let's say we first we start to read the line 4, and we read DMR, and let's say we read it into a name with a line, let's say region 1, just region. Okay, so let's say in this region we have CHR chromosome 1, chromosome ID, and start position and end position, and then we split, right? We split. Let's say we already know this is a tab deleted file. We just split based on the tab. And now what we are going to do? Okay, here is the trick. So here we utilize the concept of path. So let's say we have we name a block. Here we utilize the concept of blocks. So let's say we have a block. So later I will show you why we need to have this block. Okay. So 3, 4. So let's say let's just go through this process in your mind, in your brain. Okay. So we already read the line. Then we need to read the next line. Okay. So how to read the next region, next line? So let's say we have again new region. Let's say new region equals gamma. Okay, so now we need to first say, okay, we already read the line. What if there is only one region in the file? Okay, then there won't be anything when we read the next line, right? So here we need to say, okay, if there is nothing in the region, okay, what do we need to do? Okay, if we don't have anything in the new region, that means, okay, this is the last region we are reading. This is the last region we have in the file. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we just print this region. Okay, print region. Now we are okay. Now we need to say, okay, we just print this coordinate. Okay. Here we need to chomp the new line sign. Okay. So else, if we have something, what do we need to do? If we have something here, we first need to, okay, we have a new line. We first need to see what the content of this new region. Okay, we just say define those as region 2. So now what do we need to do? We need to say, okay, whether this region is whether this region overlap with this region, right? Okay, let's do the judgment. So if chromosome 2, first thing when we say these two regions overlap, first it needs to satisfy the requirement that these two chromosome IDs are equal, right? Chromosome 2 equals chromosome 1, and what else? Okay, one thing I need to mention that for the input file, those files have to be sorted based on the coordinates. Okay, so that's why we have. If we look at the DMR region here, so we have chromosome 1, chromosome 2, and chromosome 3, and then chromosome 1, they are sorted based on the coordinates also. Okay, from smallest to the largest. Okay, so that means here we can do the judgment that these if these two regions overlap with each other, so that means they have to fulfill the requirement that let's just say, give you an example. Okay, let's say we have two regions. Just imagine we have two regions. Okay, and this is the start 1, end 1, end 2, start 2. Okay, so just this is just give us an graphical way to say, okay, how we are going to judge this. Okay, first thing, of course, these two need to be on the same chromosome, and then we need to say, okay, this should be bigger than this and smaller than this, right? So let's say that means we have to start 2 smaller than bigger or equal than start 1, and this start 2 should be smaller than end 1, right? So basically here. Okay, if it fulfills this requirement, what should we do? Okay, this means we need to merge these two regions. Okay, basically what I mean by merging these two regions is that we need to update this end 1. So basically we need to update this to a new update this region to a new region, which is the start 1 and end 2. But this end 2, the value of end 2 should be assigned to this end 1. You know what I mean? So basically we have a new end 1. Okay, so that means we need to end 1 equals end 2, and then what if this requirement is fulfilled? That means we update end 1, and then we need to do this again. Okay, we need to do this again. So that means here, that's the magic part of this block. Okay, with the redo block. Okay, so when we say redo block, that means when this is fulfilled, okay, we go back here. Okay, so let's say okay, this is what we got for this one. So if this is not fulfilled, what do we need to do? If this is not fulfilled, else what we need to do is we need to print out. Okay, print out again. So print out this, and now we need to which means that we print out, and again we need to update these 3 values, because we already outputted this region. So that means we need to have a new set of chromosome ID 1, start 1, end 1, which is which is what we have here. What we have here, okay? So let's say we have chromosome 1 here, and then we have new regions. We update the regions with the chromosome 2 start to end 2. And once we update, we have a new set of chromosome 1, start 1, and 1. So basically, we have a new set. So again, we need to check the next region, right? So again, we need to redo block, okay? Okay, now because we need to print out this information to a file, so here we don't open this file. So here we need to say open out. We need to write information to this output file, and if we couldn't, we need to give some error information. Okay. So let's try this script. So it seems that we have some errors. So let's say 16.6 here. So basically we don't have a line, instead we have regions here. Region here, okay? So again here the same thing, we have region. Okay. Now let's say we have region and merged region. Okay, so let's say what we have here. Okay, there's something wrong with this. Okay, so basically there only the first one is outputted. Let's check what happened here. So the reason in the here we are not, instead of split region, we need to split this new region, right? Okay, so because we are checking the new, once we have a set of regions that we need to check whether the coming regions are overlapping with those regions. We need to read new regions and then split them and check whether they are overlapping, right? Okay, let's try again. So let's say what we have here. Okay, so now you see actually these three regions are merged, right? And chromosome, these two regions are merged, and these two regions are merged, 300 and 1000, and this on chromosome 3 there is only one region, so there's just this region is outputting. But you also notice that there's an additional new line after each output, so that means here we need to chop the new line. So here we need to add one more line, chop new region. Okay, let's see what will happen here. Okay, so this is what we wanted, but you can also see here this is give us a warning saying that use of an initialized value new region is scalar chomp. Okay, so this means that basically here what does this mean? This means so when we are at the the last row, that when we are at the last row and we trying to read the file again, basically because it's at the bottom of the file, at the end of the file, we couldn't get anything. So when you do chomp, this will say, okay, there's nothing in this region. This region doesn't have initialized value. So we need to add one more judgment and say, okay, if there's something, then we chomp, or we can put it here. Okay, we can move this here, right? Because if we move it here, in this step, it already help us to check, okay, whether there's a value in this new region or not. Okay, so let's do this again. So now you say that if we check this file again, okay, first we don't have the warning message here, and next thing we have the result we want. Okay, so again, what we are doing here is we merge these three regions into one region here, and these two regions into this one region here, and these two regions on chromosome 2 to this region, and this one, because there's only one region, so we didn't do any merging. So again, this is just a way to show how you can use Perl script to do something in your project. But actually, in practice, you don't need to do this. You don't need to write this script, because there are already some very nice software. For example, bad tools. They have something like bad merge bad. Sorry. Let's say merge bad, and you give the input here, and it will automatically give you the result we show here. Okay, so but this is a very nice script to show you that how you can use block and redo to help you to deal with a relatively complicated cases. So basically, you need to read the file, read one line, and then check the content of the coming line, and then do some do some work like to say whether you need to merge the regions or you don't need to merge the regions. So this is a nice this is an example to show you how to use the redo and the block. Okay, so happy coding in bioinformatics. See you. If you like this channel, please subscribe, and if you want to have the source code, please send us an email, and we will respond you as soon as possible.